it's Lee from coloringqueen.net, and I thought I'd join you today for a colouring chat with this lovely book from Colouring Heaven. It's the Gothic Alchemy Special, and do you know what? I should know that off by heart because this is the third time that I've done this video. I have done it, not liked the picture, done another one, and then decided that God, it's not my day. Seriously, it is not my day. And I forgot to press the button on. I forgot to actually record. Can you believe that? Anyway, here we are on third time lucky. So let's see how we do. So first of all, I need to decipher the picture from my previous experience because I've mucked it up quite a few times now. So I think these are the teeth, this is the tongue, we've got the eye, and yeah, we've got all the back of this beautiful dragon. So yeah, let's give him a colour. Just using the Crayola Super tips, and I wanted something that was going to cover up the dark black. So that's why I've gone with a marker, and I'll probably put pencil over it to shade it. But this is just about basically getting all the colour in. Now I may use my Copic for the skin tone, only because the Crayola skin tone is a lot darker than what I would like to use. And because the artist has used very light colouring here for the skin, it seems like they envisage that this would be a lighter skin tone for the beautiful girl there. And with that background, it's all grey and smudgy and stuff, I thought I might use just some chalk pastels or something, and I thought that I may not really follow what's there and just do like a blurry type thing, or maybe do nothing at all and leave it grey, but we'll see how we go. As I said, this is my third time doing this, so my voice is sore and now I can't remember what I talked about, whether it was in a previous video or in one that I've now deleted or in one that I forgot to record. But anyway, I hope you're all having a great day today. And excuse me, I am losing my mind. I don't know. I was doing a lot of crossword puzzles months ago when I felt very menopausal, and they said it was very good for you to exercise your brain. And not having had a job for over a year now and not really doing anything that requires a lot of taxing brain work, I was doing a lot of the crossword puzzles, but I've kind of forgotten here. So it was meant to improve your memory, but I've actually forgotten to do it. So I think I might need to do some of those. And I was looking online this morning and I thought I might exercise my brain both ways and be creative and make my own crossword puzzle up and puzzles and then solve them, and yeah, do some both sides of the brain work there just to get that motor running, because I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit more vague than usual lately. Been having a lot of walks to the kitchen wondering why I'm there. And unfortunately, once you get in the kitchen and you're not going anywhere, it's like, I wonder what there is to eat. So last night I made the coconut and plum slice. So I wanted to use up this plum jam that David's mum had purchased, so got that out of the fridge and made that up, and David loves that. He's taken it to work today, or some of it, to snack on. So, and at least it's using up some things in the fridge that we don't eat plum jam. We don't have it like on toast or anything, so it'll just be sitting there forever if I didn't use it. And his mum won't. They were going to come in May, but she won't be coming up this year now. She's basically been confined to home. So the really good thing is David's younger brother has, he's 40 odd. He's never moved out of home, well, only briefly. So he still lives at home and he doesn't work. So it's kind of good because, you know, he's able to really look after his mum. So the other week, she's been having a few little problems with her ears and balance and whatnot. And she'd broken her wrist before Christmas, and they need to operate on it. And then she started getting these other difficulties as well. So she sent a specialist the other week, and they've said that because she had a brain aneurysm about 15-20 years ago, when David and I first got together, well, not long after, apparently one of the things is later on in life, no one had mentioned this, that you can often develop ear difficulties or ringing in the ears, etc., or feeling off balance because of the amount of sodium. It affects the area where they did the brain surgery or something like that. I was getting this all secondhand through David, who spoke to her, so I'm not sure he's got that totally right. But anyway, because she has to have less salt now, she's switched up her diet, and the bread that's sort of salt-free, she didn't like the taste of it. So they went out and bought a bread maker, and they've been baking up bread and whatnot. And see, I bought my bread maker way before that, and I still haven't used mine because I'm still waiting for the flour, which I got yesterday. I can't remember where I was going with this story now. Anyway, I got the flour yesterday, came in a big box, and I had to wipe down the big box, etc. And they'd refunded some money to me, but they didn't say why. And I realised when I opened up the box that they actually hadn't sent me the bread flour that I'd ordered or the gluten flour that I'd ordered. So I ordered gluten flour because if you add a teaspoonful, apparently, to regular plain or all-purpose flour, you can turn it into bread flour, which is slightly heavier. So the things that I'd actually wanted from them weren't in the box, and they didn't have them. So, but David's brother, he'd had no problem at all getting flour, because rather than go to the supermarket, he'd gone to the bakery and bought, I think it was 15 kilos of flour for $15. So I was sending David to do that, and because there's no flour on the shelves here, which is why I ordered it online in the first place. So hopefully over the weekend I'll get some flour. The only things that turned up were rye flour, which is going to be great to make rye bread, but I want to practice on just the plain bread, plain white bread first of all, until I get to know the bread maker. And we need to be formally introduced, and you know, it's like dating, isn't it? When you get a new kitchen appliance, you've got to get to know them and, you know, see what their quirks are, and you know, whether they get too hot or too cold, or, you know, just like dating. But so I'm not even going to stick with the going around the scales here. I'm just going to go all over and then add the detail with pencil once it dries. But so hopefully David will get me that flour. And I thought, well, 15 kilos of flour, I'm going to need to store it downstairs. I don't have enough room in the kitchen up here for 15 kilos of flour. I'm trying to think of where I'm going to put the bread maker at this point in time. So I looked online, and the bread bins, etc., are all very expensive for that size. So I thought I would get a metal bin from IKEA. It was like about $20 and it's got a lid on it and looks nice enough, so I thought I'd get one of those. So I'm hoping I can convince David, if I give him the pictures of the things that I want, that he'll go over to IKEA and pick those up for me, which would be good. Normally I'd order it online, but there was a few little things that I wanted that they wouldn't deliver on. It was only in store, so that's a shame, but I guess they've got their reasons for that. You know, all stores must be so under the pump. I really feel sorry for retail and, of course, our medical profession and everyone else that is ticking the world over at the moment that, you know, perhaps we often don't appreciate as much as we should. But, yeah, so hopefully he'll go over there for me. He hates going to IKEA. Probably hates going to IKEA with me because I just browse around and I always find that there's all these things that I never realised I wanted until I actually get there, and then I think, oh yeah, I could use that and that'll be good, and then I come back with all these things that I never knew that I actually needed. But he's like that at discount shops, to be honest. He always goes in and buys stuff from discount shops that I really wonder why he did, because we've like either already got it or we don't really need it. It's kind of useless. Like last night he bought me this egg separator and I don't know, I thought, well, you know, I can separate eggs without an egg separator. I mean, I had one when I was a kid, but I don't need it now, which was pretty funny because I think when he gave it to me I was actually separating eggs, which, you know, I just do it from shell to shell. I don't need a tool for it, but I guess he loves a discount and he loves a special, so now I've got to find a home for it in the drawer. I guess we've all got our quirks. Geez, that green's beautiful. It's like a velvet. So I hope I can get this done. What's that? Anyway, we're coming around here. Is that? No, it's skulls, yeah. I think we'll do those green too. Then we'll do the whole lot green and then the detail can go in with pencil. And I think I'll use the Copic skin tone for her skin, because I want something quite pale. And these Crayolas, they don't have anything super pale. So we'll see how we go. I'm a bit far away from the page, so I'm finding it a little bit difficult to discern some of the detail here. If you're hearing any noise in the background, scratching and whatnot, it's not Millie, it's my little Charlie. He's actually not feeling too well today, and I was a little bit worried about him because he was, yeah, very sad, and I tried to get him to go for a walk this morning and I had to tug on him to get him to the door. He didn't jump up and down with excitement at his lead, and he just basically went back inside. He wouldn't even go outside. So I didn't push him or try and get him to go downstairs to go for the walk because he just wasn't interested. And then I gave him a little treat not long ago. He ate all his breakfast, but he just seems so sad and he doesn't want to go for a walk, and yeah, so I felt a bit worried and whatnot about him. So I thought I'll give him a little treat because that always perks him up. And he was happy to get it, but he wasn't as perky as he normally is. And he hasn't been playing with his toys and whatnot, so I'm hoping that he's just a little bit out of sorts and that he might be a little bit hot, so Normally I don't like to put the aircon on during, I've got this sort of rule that it can only go on after lunch, but because he was hot, I thought I'll put it on for him, because he is very fluffy, being a Maltese Terrier, and he's had a trim not that long ago, but I think his hair's grown back quite quickly, so he might need another trim, and I'll just do it myself, give him a little hairdo. But so he might be just feeling hot, which is what I'm hoping is the issue, because it's awful when your fur babies aren't feeling good. So we were going to take him to the park and whatnot over the weekend, but with all the changes in what you're allowed to do and whatnot, we probably won't do that. And it's funny because this is the year, my birthday is next Saturday, and David told me last night that he'd been planning to take me to Movie World for my birthday. And I've always wanted to go to Movie World. It's about an hour from where we're living now. I never went before because it's not in the same state as where we used to live. And it would have been a big, sort of holiday type thing if we went there. But I've always wanted to go because I collect characters like Tweety Bird and Sylvester, etc. And I've got a lot of them as, like cookie jars or teacups or glasses, things like that. So I've been doing that for years. And I haven't bought anything since I discovered colouring, but I've still got a lot of things from Warner Brothers, etc. I would show you, but they're all actually in storage. It started out I collected Betty Boop, and I've got some Betty Boop here, but nothing like what I've got in storage. And then it got on to the Sylvester and the Peppy and, all the childhood favourites. And so at Movie World on the Gold Coast in Australia, they've got like Tweety rides where it's a little cage, and they've got all the merch and all of the sort of little events that operate around Warner Brothers style movies, and Batman and Superman and Supergirl, and yeah, so the whole gang. So I've been wanting to go for so long, probably be the oldest person in the park wanting to play on the Tweety cage ride, but life is what you make of it. But of course those things are all not operating at the moment, so Movie World's out, and then we thought we might just go for a picnic in the park, but I think the kibosh are on that as well. So luckily, if it wasn't for all the construction stuff around everywhere, which hopefully David will tidy up by next week, luckily the garden might be nice enough just to have a picnic at home. So we'll do that instead. And we were going to, go out for dinner because we haven't been out for dinner since we moved here. So that's like a year and a half. And so we thought we might go out for dinner. Actually, I tell a lie. We went out with David's mum when she came up, and his brother. So, yeah, we might just have dinner at home, and I'll probably cook something. It's funny because David said he was going to make a cake for me, and I said, have you? I've never seen him make a cake, and we've been together for nearly 21 years. And he said, no, he hasn't, but he said, I thought I'd try it. And I thought, oh, how sweet. But I said, don't worry about it, I'll make the cake. So what I'm going to do is make a carrot cake, because that's my favourite cake. And I'm going to use my pie maker to make it with. So I've got 3 pie makers, one that makes like small little pies, one that makes this sort of size as a takeaway pie, and one that makes what they call a family pie, but it's not what I would call a family pie size. Certainly not with someone like David that's a human vacuum cleaner. So it's kind of, yeah, it's about that big, which is not a family pie in my books. Anyway, I'm going to use that one to make a layered carrot cake. So basically, you're just making very thin, sort of 1-inch layers of carrot cake and just making them one at a time in the pie maker, and then icing the whole thing up with the cream cheese icing. So yeah, I've been wanting to do that for a while because people keep talking about this method of making the layer cakes in the pie maker. Jeez, I've given her a little bit of green on her hand. Oh well, she's green with jealousy. And I haven't yet done it, and everyone else does it in my pie maker for them, and they seem to have great fun doing it, so I thought I'd give it a go, see what happens. But they usually use a packet mix, and I think I'll just make a normal carrot cake up rather than buy a carrot cake packet mix. But I did use a packet mix up last night. We had one in the cupboard, it must have been on special or something, and I want to sort of have the cupboard a bit clearer. I normally just put things at the front of the cupboard in a little basket that are sort of to be used or close to their expiry date. So yeah, I seen that in the cupboard last night, so I thought I would make cupcakes with it in my pie maker. And I made a coconut and plum slice as well. I can't remember if this was on this video that I told you that or on the video that I forgot to record. It's very difficult. Anyway, so I made the coconut and plum slice, and then I seen that packet mix, and I thought David would like some for work. So rather than using, on the packet mix it says to add an egg and add milk and whatnot, I didn't do any of that and just added a cup of soda water. You can use any sort of soft drink, and just gently mix it in. You don't want to mix it too hard because otherwise the bubbles, which make it light, will get too dissolved. And I just popped that into my little pie maker. So it made 12 little cupcakes, and it was just one of those really cheap Aldi packet mixes and a cup of soda water, and you can use any soft drink. So it's a good way of saving your eggs or your milk or whatnot. And yeah, 12 little cupcakes, and I popped some icing on them, and that was it. Plus he's got the slice as well, so yeah, that was enough to keep him out of mischief for the day. Or sweets wise. What have you guys been doing if you're in lockdown or if you're self-isolating? How are you spending time? I would imagine that most of us are pretty lucky because we already have a hobby that we enjoy. But some people, you know, they might not have anything, or their hobby might be based or not able to be done at the moment, you know, so they might be really struggling. But for us, I think we're pretty lucky because most of us have colouring books or supplies that we can turn to. I see on the news this morning, it was so funny, people were doing a formal Friday. So when you're working, often have the casual Friday dress, but now a lot of people are working from home they're just in shorts and yoga pants or whatever. So they're deciding to get all dressed up in their fancy pants gear on Friday. And so they had this girl, she was mowing the lawn in her wedding dress, it looked like, and another couple, they had a farm and they were in their tuxedo and their ball gown, chopping wood and running the tractor and all the rest of it. It was really funny. I love seeing what people get creative on. You know, we're seeing a lot of humour, I think, and it's always good to have something to laugh about. Whoops, got overexcited with that green there. Oh well, Mr. Dragon's got a bigger horn. Now, I will have to do some pencil work here just to put some shading and whatnot in, but we'll wait for him to dry. So this morning I've been wondering where the day goes as per usual. Been washing, cleaning, and I really don't know where the time goes. I used to have way more time when I worked outside of the home. And I don't know whether I told you on this video or it was on the one that I forgot to record. But I'm thinking about going back to school because, for one thing, I really miss being a teacher, which I've been doing for a while. Initially that was part-time while I had another full-time job, and then eventually I was just doing that. So I miss that, but I can't get the work that I'm trained for to do up here in this state because they have different things and different courses, etc. So I'm not qualified to do that here. So I've been thinking for a while whether I will just do something that I'm not qualified for, or change careers, or do something different. Anyway, I've decided that what I'm going to do is increase my qualifications. So hopefully this is the plan. I'm going to see if, rather than teaching students, and I do miss my little angels very much, but I see them on Facebook and that's good too. Rather than teach students, I'll train to... Sorry, I'm trying to think where this goes. I think I just coloured one of his teeth. Oh dear. Think, Leanne. Think. Oh, I've done it again. God. Talk about it, dope. Gonna have to figure that one out. Anyway, so there's a course that I can do to train the trainers, so you can do a diploma in it. I did see one place that was offering a course where you can get a double diploma in training the trainers. And so I was thinking about doing that one, but I'll need to look into it more. They said 2 years to finish, which is a bit long for my liking. So I was hoping I might get some exemptions so I could finish it earlier. What's that there? So I'm going to look into doing that. And the reason being is a lot of those jobs can be done from home or remotely, so it might be good in these times. So I might at least have a chance of getting a job up here. My other thought was just to wait around and see what happens. but I don't feel like I want to sit still. I feel like I want to learn something or do something. 'Cause my memory is just going by not having anything to think about for so long. But hopefully something will turn up soon. I wish I had a real dragon here to model this on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let that dry because that green's over quite a bit of it. I don't want to smudge the paper by putting my hand on it all the time. So I'm going to let that dry and then we'll come back. So I'm back. I actually stopped for lunch and been thinking about what colour here to do this dress because it looks like it's skin. It looks like it's got an open back and it's got like little ribbons that go across this bare back with two little shoestring type straps, and then this looks like it's little folds over here, and her hand looks really dark up against that. So anyway, I thought I would do the eye in the Crayola. So just a bit of eye there, and leave that, and I'll put some pencil in. And this in the background here as well, I seem to have missed that out, as I do. And then I thought I'd do the tongue in the pink Crayola and darken that up. I think that's the internal part of the mouth, so we'll give that a bit of colour. I'm really not up on my dragon anatomy. I hope the poor little thing turns out okay with what Mummy's doing to it. If it can tell. I actually went off and I had lunch. I think we'll do these flowers in the pink too, in her hair. So just a little bit of pinky. And I'll darken that up with some red probably. Just getting the base on really. It's a good thing about these markers is you can just use it as a base and then come over with your pencils and do whatever you fancy. So I'm thinking that that's leaves actually. So I'll leave that there and I'll put in a dab of green for it. So I'm absolutely colouring like a 5-year-old here just to scumble up the surface basically. And so I went and had lunch and spent some time with my little dog Charlie because, as I said earlier, he's not himself today, and a couple of little snacks and he seemed a lot better. Now is this leaves or is it part of the dragon? And what about this? What's that? Well, we'll do it green anyway and see what happens. I think it's leaves, but I should have looked up on the catalogue and a bit more idea. And then on the hair I thought I'd use the tan Crayola and go over it with some darker colours if need be. So I just made a sandwich and I sat down with Charlie and we watched Frasier on TV. Just so I could sit and spend some time with him. Gave him a little treat. He loves liver treats, so gave him one of those and he seemed a lot happier, so I turned the aircon on for him, so maybe he's just hot. Which it is very warm today. I wanted to spend the afternoon in the garden, but the day seems to be getting away from me again, and it is actually really humid outside. So just do these leaves over here in the green. We've got a bit of shadowing there, I think, so I might do that in black later. But I'm going to use the Copics for the skin tone. And it's EO1, and it's still darker than what I would like. Hello, Millie. And I think I'm out of ink because it's not going on. Oh, I desperately need a refill. Oh. We'll see if we can scrape out enough, but she's going to be darker than what I had originally hoped. Yes, sweetheart. Sweetheart. She's nudging my face while I'm doing this. Really? I'm hoping I'll get enough out of this EO1 to be able to finish this. But she is way darker than what I wanted. It's really after a very pale colour, so maybe I should have done it in pencil. Live and learn. I think I need to change the nib on this one as well. I've got quite a few Copics now. I've been collecting them for quite a few years, and I bought some a while back on Facebook Marketplace. And they did say that most of them, you know, hadn't been used and whatnot, but that actually wasn't true because a couple of them were a bit dry and I had to get refills for them. So I think this was probably one of those from that batch that I bought. So, Millie, can I have the texture, please? Thank you. Missing a bit of hair there. So I think that was from that batch, and that's maybe why it's a bit dry and the nib feels a bit dark, but anyway, hopefully there's enough here to do this part of her dress. And I think because I've made her skin darker, I'm going to have to now make her dress darker than what I was previously going to do, but you know, adapt. There's bigger problems to have. But I just can't believe, like, this is the third time in this book that the picture hasn't turned out the way I wanted it to. So the first one, I made the same mistake with the skin. It was way darker. And then the second one, I forgot to record. And then this one, I've done the same thing with the skin again. And I do have a swatch chart. I just couldn't be bothered getting it out and looking, so it's my own fault. Sometimes, you know, just think, oh, this is not going to be any trouble, and then you make a mistake. Now, I'm thinking I'll probably go in there with the green, because it's behind the dragon showing through. Colour of the dress now. So I think I'll go with the mauve. Now these straps are all in the mauve, but I think I'll do those in pencil, to be honest, and same with that detail. Or maybe with gel pen. I don't know why today I've woken up with a very sore throat and an earache. Must be getting like a winter flu, which I've been trying to avoid like the plague. It's getting sick. I really don't want to have a winter flu, but I don't know. It feels like I'm getting a cold or flu or something. So I think I'll leave this bit white and then do this bit in the mauve. Unless I make a mistake and go out of the lines, and then all bets are off and I'll just be doing whatever. Which chances of going out of the lines and colouring over a bit are very high. I'm thinking about something to cook for dinner tonight. Really not enthused about doing it. Don't know about you guys, but I get sick of cooking dinner. It's alright when I've got a meal plan because I know what I'm doing, but at the moment I haven't been able to get a lot of things on my grocery list, so the meal plan's gone out the window again. I like to know in advance what I'm making and have everything organised. Thinking about it too late in the day is just annoying for me. I think it's probably going to be a roast though, because I've got things to make, and I don't want to keep sending David to the shops all the time. Because I've already asked him to go to the bakery. I don't want to push the friendship. I know he's going to hate going to the bakery and asking if he can buy flour rather than buy bread. Them's the breaks. Now, I know I'm doing really rough kitty colouring here, but it's quite a big area to go over. So I'm hoping when it dries that it won't look so kitty colouring. But if it does, I'm going to add some sparkle to it, because at the moment I'm feeling like I'm cursed with this colouring book, like with my 3 attempts today, and I'm feeling a bit disheartened. You know, when some days things just don't go right. So if it doesn't, I'm going to put some sparkles all over it, and no one will ever mention it again, okay? I wish I'd used my Copics for these because they're not as streaky for the dress component. I'll see if the little small circles works better with these ones. With your Copics you're used to doing the long strokes. I don't know. I think I should have quit while I was ahead. It's kind of got a texture to it now because of all these strokes. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a better day than I am. What are you doing today? Are you colouring? Are you diamond painting? Are you reading? Are you doing the cleaning? Do you know, when I often listen to colouring chats, I'm usually cleaning because I like to multitask, for one thing, and the bathroom's opposite my colouring cave, so I can clean the bathroom and listen on the computer. And quite a few times I've had a shower during the colouring chat as well, because I can hear that from the bathroom and hear what's going on and keep up to date in the colouring world. And then it's only a small house, so usually I can just leave the computer on and I can hear what people are saying. Anyway, I might have to get the glitter out on that. Jeez. Ooh, it's a bit rough. But never mind. Live and learn, hey? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tart it up with some pencils, and then we'll come back and see, you know, if that worked. Or if this picture is just cursed for me. The little, yeah, we might do that as a little amethyst stone there. And that needs a little bit of purple there. Should we brave it and do the straps? I don't know. Oh, maybe. Yeah. Do this one. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, seriously? Why do I do these things? I should have quit while I was ahead on that. Really? Oh well. I had a balls up address. Oh, just really vague and not into it today at all. Oh, and now I have to do that bit. Oh, it's got a snowball effect now. Now I'm having to do all the bits. Oh, and now I've completely forgotten I wanted that white. Oh, seriously, just give it up, girl. Now, I think we're going to have to do this in purple now. Now, can it be saved? That's the question. Look, if you stand back and squint a bit, it's not too bad, but no, I really hate that. So I'm back. I haven't had a lot of luck with this particular colouring magazine. I absolutely love it, no question about it, but I think I was just having a super bad day where nothing went according to plan, and you know, life is like that sometimes. But the great thing about colouring is that, you know, it's okay, you know, as long as you have fun doing it and you enjoy yourself. I had fun trying to think of ways how to salvage this picture. So what I basically did was, and I didn't salvage it, it's a hot mess, but you know, it's my hot mess, so it's all good. So what I did was I put glitter on it. Glitter cures everything, doesn't it? Well, no, it actually doesn't. It looked worse. It looked way worse. So I had to get some water brush out and remove the glitter. And that's when I realised or remembered that I was using a water-based marker. So that actually diluted the streakiness on the dress, which was good because I was able to take some colour off and actually get some shadows happening in there, so that was good. But of course, you know, I probably took too much colour off, and then I thought that I would add some white gel highlights and go over the white bits. And of course that looked terrible. Absolutely terrible. I never have any luck with white gel pen. I super admire everyone that makes it look fabulous, but to me it never works out well. And so I ended up scraping most of that off with my fingernail and then just putting a little bit on. So it's a hot mess, but it's my hot mess. I hope you guys are having a better day than I am. Stay safe, and until next time, happy colouring.